Hello, boys and girls. Welcome back to our last measurement class. So today I'm going to give you your answers from your last lesson, as well as we're going to look at our last type of measurement. All right. So on the page you will see our answers for the last questions that you had to do in red on pound on weight and time. If you have any questions, please feel free to send me a message on mine or on Google Classroom, and I will respond. Okay. So today's system is going to be on still on measurement, but we're looking at weight, we're looking at length, and we're looking at capacity, but we're looking at it inside the metric system. So in the United States, we typically use the customary system. However, in different parts of the world, there's another type of measurement system called the metric system. And you'll see some of these things on American bottles and things like that as well. But we typically measure in customary. So, and the metric system is a little bit easier because their measurement system goes by 10, kind of like our number system. So the length in the metric system is measured by meters, the capacity is measured by liters, and the weight is measured by grams as the base unit weight, which starts right here. And then you can make those units bigger or smaller by adding the prefix deca, heca, or kilo, which are the bigger units, and deci, centi, and milli for the smaller units. So when you are trying to remember that, you can use the saying, King Henry doesn't usually drink chocolate milk, which kilo, hecto, deca, unit, deci, centi, and milli. And like I said before, when I'm going from big to small, I multiply by 10. And then when I go from small to big, I am going to divide by 10. So the small to big and the big to small still stand clear. But in metric system, it is a little bit easier because it's only by 10. It's not by different numbers like the customary system. Okay? So I'm going to put this up here again. So from big to small. Oop, oop, let me spell correctly. Big to small, you're going to multiply. Small to big, you are going to divide. So we're actually going to look at converting this measurement 576 into all types of measurement. So because it's just a meter, it's nothing else, it goes here in units. 576. Now, if I'm going from small to big, I'm going to multiply. But we've talked about this when we did our powers of 10 unit, that if I want to make something 10 times bigger, then I just add a zero behind it. Well, not just add, but I move all of my numbers up a place value by adding a zero in the ones place, which shifts all of my other numbers. So to make it 10 times bigger as a decimeter, it is 5,760. So same size, just bigger, a bigger number because our units are smaller. And then 576 is equivalent to 57,600 as a centimeter, and then 576 meters is equivalent to 576,000 millimeters. Because each time I made it 10 times, the number 10 times bigger because I have smaller units. Now going up, I'm going to make the number 10 times smaller. Once again, same size, just a smaller amount because our units are bigger. So like before, if I want to make a number 10 times smaller, I need to move my numbers down a place value. And I'm going to do that with the help of my decimal. So for decameters, it would be 57 and 6 tenths. So that 6 was once in the ones place is now in the tenths place. And all my numbers are pushed back 1. Then hectometer would be 5.76. And then finally, kilometers would be 576,000 kilometers, which is all equivalent for 576 meters. Okay? So we're going to do a few more, and then we're going to move on to our word problems. So for example, I need to look at exactly where am I going. So I'm going from decameter to millimeter, which means I'm going from a bigger unit to a smaller unit. So I'm going to make my number 10 times bigger. So from deca to milli, so you have, when you move that decimal point over first, and you have 127 meters. Actually, sorry boys and girls, I'm wrong, because this is decimeter. The small d means it's decimeter. So I have 12 and 7/10 decimeter, and then I'm going to move down to millimeter by doing 10 each time. So that's 127 centimeters and 1,270 millimeters. Okay. In this case, once again, I'm going down. I'm going from kilometers to meters. And meters here are at units. Meters, liters, and grams. So I'm going to start by putting my kilometer up here, my amount up that I have, and then I'm just going to go down the chart. And I'm going to make each number 10 times bigger first by moving the decimal, because that's going to push each number to the next place value. So we have 783 and 2,200, 2/10, and then we have 7,832. And now that I've moved that decimal point out of the way, that's a comma, I am going to start adding zeros. So now my final answer is going to be 78,320 meters. It's my final answer. And then we're going to do, I think this is one more, yeah. One more where we're going up this time. So we're going from a smaller unit to a bigger unit. So we have 7,546. Sorry, boys and girls. And we're going to move up. So I am going to make my numbers 10 times smaller. So this is where I'm still going to manipulate these numbers using the decimal point, but in the opposite direction. So I need to make the 6 go into the next smallest place, which is the 10th place. So I'm going to put a decimal here. So as a decagram, it is 754 and 6/10. So once again, I want to make it 10 times smaller again, because I have to go through each of these steps to get to the step that I want to get to. So as a hectogram, it's 75 and 46/100. And then finally, as a kilogram, it is 7 and 546 thousandths kilograms. All right, so now we're going to get into the word problems. Now that you know how to convert, remember word problems are 2 steps. For the most part, is that you have to answer the question as well as solve the problem. So in this problem, an electrician has 2 meters of wire. How many centimeters of wire does he have? We are going to go from meters, which is at unit, to centimeters. And I don't have to solve anything. This is really just a conversion. So if he has 2 meters, he has 200 centimeters. Okay. Our next step is a little bit more, where you have 10 3-centimeter erasers. And if I line up all 10 of those erasers, how long would the line be? Well, this one we do have to do a little bit more. The first thing we have to do is we have to figure out, well, how long is these 3 centimeters erasers lined up when I have all 10. So the first thing we're going to do is 3 times 10, which equals 30 centimeters. However, my answer is asking to be in millimeters. So now I have to convert. So I have 30 centimeters, and then I want to bring it down to millimeters. So that is equivalent to 300 millimeters. All right. And then finally, we're going to look at this problem with Andrea. So Andrea is picking oranges from her orange tree. She wants to pick 1 3/10 kilograms of oranges. If each orange weighs 100 grams, how many oranges will she need to pick? So in this case, I'm looking once again at 2 different types of measurement units. So I'm looking at kilograms and I'm looking at grams. I think we should change our kilograms to grams so that we can get away from the decimal part and work with whole numbers. So the first thing we're going to do is change this 1 3/10 kilograms into grams, which is right here at units. So that brings it to 13 hectograms, 130 decagrams, and 1,300 regular grams. But that just tells me how much Andrea wants to pick. Now I have to figure out how many oranges that is. So if Andrea wants to pick 1,300 grams of oranges, I'm going to divide that by how much each orange weighs, which is 100 grams, and 1,300 divided by 100 equals 13. So Andrea needs to pick 13 oranges that weigh 100 grams apiece to get 1,300 grams or 1.3 kilograms. All right, so today you have 6 problems. I will post this on Google Classroom, the actual slides. And as always, I will post your answers on our next lesson. Your next lesson will not be a recording. It will just be a quizzes review of all of the different measurement systems. As well as I will be posting your EOG material, as well as the last unit, which is polygons. If you have any questions, please feel free to send me a message or remind. Have a good day. Bye-bye.